and for your continuing the family tradition of inspired leadership at this great university. I also want to recognize a few other people. Governor Mike Beebe, his wonderful wife, my friend Ginger Beebe, Senator Blaine Lincoln and Mark Pryor, Mike Ross, Dustin McDaniel, and Mayor Carl Regas, our mayor. I also want to thank Dr. Johnson, Vice Chairman of the University of Arkansas Board of Trustees, to all the members of the Board of Trustees, and B. Allen Suggs, the President of the University of Arkansas. And graduates, let's all take a moment to thank the unsung heroes that are here today, and those for your families. These are the folks who pushed you and believed in you. The folks who answered all those late night phone calls, even when you would just call and ask for money. The folks whose love has sustained you every single day, because the truth is today is their day too. So let's give them another round of applause. Thank you, lovely friends, to all the mothers here. The stars of today's show, the class of 2010. Congratulations, you all. We are so very proud of you. And look at this. You have worked so hard, invested so much of yourselves during your time here. Your teachers have become mentors, your classes have become passions and career ambitions, and your classmates have become lifelong friends. From the day you arrived as freshmen, you have taken all the school has to offer and you made it your own. And in doing so, you've become part of a very proud tradition, one that began 135 years ago, just a decade past slavery, on that September day when the Branch Normal College first opened its doors. See, things were very different back then, right? There were no lecture halls or dorm rooms, no athletic facilities or libraries. Understand, the first campus was little more than a rundown frame house in desperate need of repairs. And the first class consisted of just 7 students, some of whom could barely read at the first grade level. And life was full of uncertainty for those students, because there was no clear path to success, no guarantee of opportunity when they graduated, but still, with hope in their hearts and a faith in their God-given potential, they came here anyway. They came to do the only thing they could, and that was to learn. So let's just imagine how those 7 students would feel if they could see all of you here today. If they could see the flagship of the Delta, a great university with a network of alumni across this country, imagine their pride in seeing all this institution has accomplished. The Vesper Choir performing at the Vatican. The ROTC producing a U.S. Army general. The Golden Lions making it to the NCAA. And do you think they could have ever dreamed that their school band would have been chosen to march in the inaugural American band named Barack Obama? God is good. We celebrate not just your achievements, but the achievements of all those who came before you. Those who poured everything they had into building this school and giving you opportunities they never, ever could have imagined for themselves. But even today, with all the progress that's been made and all that you've achieved, I know that for so many of you, this journey has not been easy. Many of you probably grew up like me, in neighborhoods where few had the chance to go to college, where being teased for wanting academic success was a fact of life, where well-meaning but misguided folks questioned whether a girl with a background like mine could succeed at a school like Princeton. See, but like me, you knew you wanted something more, right? Just like those first 7 students at this school, something inside of you drove you to set your sights higher. It was that internal drive that kept you focused, kept you out of trouble, and earned you admission to this great university. And I'm sure that all of you remember the joy you felt when you opened those acceptance letters. But I'm sure that some of you also remember the initial shock you experienced when you first arrived on campus and realized the expectations were maybe a little higher, the work just a little harder than anticipated. But that didn't stop you. Instead, you dug deep, you stepped up your game, and ultimately earned yourself that diploma. But now, after all you've done to get this far, after all the achievements and struggles, a new set of challenges awaits. Suddenly you're facing a future of debt in the form of tens of thousands of dollars for some loans. And you gotta find a job that'll start paying bills before the bill collectors come along. I know clearly that it wasn't that long ago that my husband and I were still paying off our student loans. And it can start to feel like each time you overcome one obstacle and achieve something big, there's another obstacle standing right there to take you off. The bar is set, and then you work as hard as you can to reach that bar, and just when you think you finally reached it, the bar